More new faces, I see.
Bayonetta 3 is going to be the biggest action game of the year. If you have ever played the previous Bayonetta titles before, then that will be of no surprise to you. After almost a decade since Bayonetta 2 dropped on the Wii U to massive critical acclaim, we finally know when we will be able to get our hands on its sequel in Bayonetta 3 when it lands on October 28th, 2022, exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. And what a year it has been for Nintendo, with Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to be released within weeks of each other. Nintendo is on fire with their releases this year, and Bayonetta 3 will definitely land as one of the high marks of this year. So why should you shell out even more money to buy this game when there are a ton of worthy games to buy this fall? That will be answered and more in today's episode of Game Watch. Strap your firearms to your legs and arms and grow out your hair in time for the next few months as we go headfirst into Paradiso. Or maybe less of Paradiso this time, as we are now confronted with a new man-made threat destined to plunge the world into chaos known as the homunculi. This globe-trotting adventure sees our titular character Bayonetta venture to the far reaches of the planet on a mission to rid the ever-present threat of the homunculi and prevent it from spreading. These man-made bioweapons sport humanoid features and are identified by their teal and white colorings. The homunculi go beyond their representations of human beings and can manifest all matter of creatures, large and small, as they seem to be devouring all life from anything it touches. It's like Resident Evil has made a baby with Bayonetta, stripping all the survival horror elements out and keeping the same over-the-top, flashy combat that we've come to know and love about Bayonetta from the previous two outings. Bayonetta won't be alone on her journey, however, as her charismatic allies will be joining her on their quest to stop the homunculi from spreading. Introduced is a new playable character named Viola, a witch in training who assists Bayonetta on her adventure. We also see Bayonetta herself sporting alternate versions of herself in this time-twisting tale. But enough about the story and more about the over-the-top action, right? Here we can see Bayonetta absolutely kicking ass, no surprise there, with her firearms attached to her limbs and her over-the-top melee prowess. Just like the previous games, if Bayonetta were to dodge enemies right before their attacks were to land, time slows down except for Bayonetta, allowing her to wreak insane havoc on her enemies in a state called witch time. Being able to control both her firearms and her melee combat, players are able to easily switch to and from these two methods of attack with ease, often combining them into insane over-the-top combos to dish out the destruction. These games are simply over the top, and if you're a fan of unrealistic power fantasies in video games, then you will probably place the Bayonetta series as one of your all-time favorites. Just like the older titles, Bayonetta is able to conjure up all manner of demonic creatures made out of her luscious locks of hair to lay waste to her enemies. New to Bayonetta 3 is the ability to take direct control of her demons by allowing players to summon a demon when available to fight her enemies. We can see in this clip that the player appears to be directing a massive demon spider along the sides of buildings, all the while spewing fire from its mouth to melt enemies. Now, how cool is that? This is a huge improvement over the previous entries, whereas demons summoned by Bayonetta in the past would have the player mash buttons in quick time event-like sequences to dish out finishers or heavy damage. Now in Bayonetta 3, we can take full control of these demons, which will surely result in some of the game's most over-the-top and cinematic moments. The extent of how much control is given to the player when controlling Bayonetta's demons remains uncertain, including the summoning duration and breadth of attacks at the player's disposal. Even so, this is a clear step forward in the right direction and will certainly add more interesting layers to an already deep combat system. We can expect the over-the-top boss battles in this entry as well, along with key set-piece moments that rival even some of the industry's heavy hitters. In all, Bayonetta 3 looks like it will be an awesome return to this messed up universe of witches and demons. Personally, I hope to experience more encounters than just with a homunculi, as I fear that fighting these enemies sporting similar color palettes could get stale after some time. I'm sure that the story taking place across vast expanses of the world, along with Viola as a new playable character, is going to counteract my small gripe by providing more variety for players. No word yet on whether or not Bayonetta 3 will include an online cooperative mode like Bayonetta 2 did, but we do have a rather hilarious mode that will be brand new to the series in the name of Naive Angel Mode. When enabled, Naive Angel Mode conceals some of the nudity and suggestive dances and acts that Bayonetta does when engaging her demons. This game by no means has full-scale nudity, but those put off by how suggestive Bayonetta can often be with her femininity and style can choose to enable this mode for a more PG viewing. Naive Angel Mode also renders some of the enemies less gruesomely as well. In all, Bayonetta 3 is shaping up to be perhaps the best entry in this series, and I'm just so thrilled to see more Bayonetta. It's hard to imagine that Bayonetta 2 came out in 2014, so this sequel couldn't be coming at a better time. With all that said, what are your thoughts on Bayonetta 3? Are you looking forward to this game as well? What is your favorite game in the franchise so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and also feel free to go bullet hell on the like and subscribe button for more content just like this. I will be covering more of Bayonetta 3 in the future when we have more details surrounding this game, and I will be reviewing the game as well, so look forward to more Bayonetta content in the future. Thank you all for the support, and I look forward to seeing you good people in the next video. Peace!